Competition should be fair. At the moment, it's very difficult to compete with Google, Apple, etc. But if you guarantee that the platform owners doesn't invade the businesses of the vendors, if you guarantee that entrepreneurs can have a minimum sale guaranteed until they get into business, more fair competition by neutralizing the dominant position of the major corporations. So this can also be done through algorithms, and this is against all of those who say this is communism. So obviously, if you have more freedom, more purchasing power, more entrepreneurship, and more competition, I don't see how this is exactly relates to communism. Quality should be assured, not only in convincing companies and through the current means, but if you can rate products in a systematic fashion based on the quality of the vendors, based on sustainability scores, and you prioritize orders to companies based on these scores, then you can avoid the efforts of trying to run quality down and make more profit. And this is also something that you can use to screen vendors. So if you don't meet a certain criteria in terms of your quality performance, you are out of the system. And if you are meeting the expectations, then you get guaranteed market share to an extent. So there are ways in which you can reinforce quality in a much more effective fashion. I will not get into depth with the other principles, but the idea here is that there are ways to promote societal values like more respect to individual differences and better, more respectful employment through the system. You can reduce pay differences within companies. Leveraging technology, the idea here is that this system will be digital, using the most advanced technology, artificial intelligence, machine learning, etc., not to exploit consumers and companies and vendors, but to serve the purposes of the system, to identify in advance who is behaving opportunistically, to set the right ratios in terms of the price differences so that the high earners will be willing to purchase while the low earners will not be disincentivized to make an effort. The question is also how to manage the system and what should be the ownership. Also, very different from what we have today. Today, if you are the capital owner, you set the tone. In this system, capital will have no effect in terms of the platform at least. So it will not be publicly traded. Shares will be given not to investors, but to consumers, vendors, and employees. And they will have a say in terms of monitoring the behavior of the platform owner and influencing the policies. The system will be based on alternative forms of funding, not the stock market, not investors, probably crowdfunding. And the idea is that if you can raise crowdfunding for this idea, for the system, then probably those who donated are identified with the ideas. They are pro-social, so you can admit them as the first users of the system. And then when new users want to join, they might be required to meet certain requirements such as getting recommendations or endorsements from existing users. Another important element here is trust. So to build trust, eventually it will be self-enforced, but to begin with, it is important that the algorithms will be transparent, which is exactly what the big tech companies are not doing today. There should be a government unit that has the capacity to read algorithms and see if what they do is what the companies are committed to. And they have to certify these algorithms. And this will give confidence to users that they are okay using that system. Until this is done, you are in the hands of the platform owners and the programmers who can do whatever they wish. Finally, something a bit counterintuitive. My claim is that the faith of this cooperative economy depends on the faith of the existing economy. Not in the sense that we need this existing economy to perish, to disappear, for this one to rise, but we actually need both of them at the same time. Because if this system is for the pro-social users, the opportunistic ones should have a system where they can trade. They should also find a way to make a living, earn, and enjoy life. So it's important that this existing system will keep there and exist until at least all of us realize that the right choice is to move to the cooperative economy.